Welcome to my life on paper. I am Brianna, and I have two things that I am joining for today. One is Scraptember that I'm playing along with all month. The prompt for today is multiple photos, which works well because I'm also playing along with Sketch Sunday. And you can see the sketch is by Inspired Blueprints, Sketches to Build On. I did get to pick out this sketch, and I'm not sure why it's giving me such a hard time. Okay, I have photos that I'm covering up with these bright pink post-it notes. It's of my nephew, and I don't have permission to share his picture on YouTube. He's playing basketball, and you can see in the sketch it's got those 3 4x4 photos. It's got some washi tape, and it's got a couple of clusters. I didn't really know what to do with this. I went into my stash, and I have Scrapbook Generation. It's colorful 1. It's a bunch. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is warn you, it's glossy, but I really like it. So we've got tags, we've got cut aparts, we've got papers, and some of it is like done for you. They're double-sided, and again, you can see there's a sheen on there, so it is glossy. The first thing I thought I was going to do was use this background paper for a little bit of interest. So I started off with that. But then, I don't know where I got this idea from, but I went and looked for some background on my Cricut. So what I ended up doing, and I don't know if you can tell, but I took, this was one, I don't know if you want a cut file, but one image on Cricut. And I welded 3 of the same things together. And I like that. I put it on the dark background. It really makes it pop. Then I can put on, and actually I have to tell you, I printed it, I cut it this way, but then looking at the sketch, I flipped it because then I can layer these down. I also have lots of things that I cut out from a sheet from Scrapbook Generation. So you'll see those. And I have other goodies as well. I have 2, these are actually like eyelets, or I guess you'd call that an eyelet. I'm gonna use my crocodile with that. I've got 2 of them, so I'm gonna use those in my clusters. Hobby Lobby was doing a clearance sale on basketball, baseball, and football things, and I bought them all up. $1.24. Basketballs never go out of style. So I think I'm gonna put one of those in each one of the clusters for a little bit of different color so it's not so monochromatic. And then you can see that strip in the background. I'm using washi tape, and it's kind of a copper color, but it matches these basketballs. I'm gonna use that. The other thing is, you can see it's got 3 journaling, well, actually 6 journaling strips. I'm going to be using 2 of these, and that came off the Scrapbook Generation paper that I cut out, and these as well. So totally fantastic, and remember this. And then I just need a title, which I will figure out. One more thing to point out, these are close to my heart. It came in a paper pack. They're super old, and they're punch out. So I bought them for at like a rummage sale. I bought the whole thing for $1. So I just took these out of there, and I'm going to use that for my page. So let's get scrapping. I have to apologize for these bright pink post-it notes because they are very distracting. And there's a lot of gluing going on here. This was the hardest part of the layout after figuring out what I actually wanted to do. Because of the way of the design, they're very small pieces, and it turns out good on the layout, but it's kind of hard to glue. And then I do dribble a little bit, so I move the blue piece of paper. The other thing is that I don't realize it's on Crooked until I'm doing this voiceover. And I think, well, I know it turns out fine, and I don't know that you're even going to notice, but when I first lay the cut file down, it's a little wonky before the pictures go on. So I'm just using my liquid glue. It goes on nice. You can reposition it a little bit, while you're trying to get it down. It goes down pretty nice, but that if you look at that left lower corner, yeah, it's just, you can see how it's wonky. But again, you know, if it wasn't perfect, or if it was perfect, you knew it wasn't handmade, so there's that anyway. And it is a little guy's layout, so I would totally use this. I'm going to save this image because it kind of turned out kind of cool. I thought about using mixed media, but once I got this down, I didn't want to do that. The little bit of washi tape gives it a little bit of color, which is nice. And here I'm just gluing extra pieces down and making sure that it's nice and flat. Next I'm going to glue my photos down, and the pink Post-its are distracting to me as well. There is one point where I'm going to pull it up a little bit to peek underneath. But I'm putting these down just kind of where I think they should be. And then I refer to the sketch and I move the one around a little bit. I'm not exactly sure where I got this washi from. It comes in lots of different colors. It's not very thick, but it does stick okay. And I like the color of it. So I stick down the first photo. And then I put down the second one and I realize, oh, it's really up closer to the second photo. So I do move it over just a little bit, which gives me more room to put embellishment on the right-hand side. So that works good. And I was like, should I move that? Nope, not going to move it. Like I said, I'm going to use these labels that I had cut out from the Scrapbook Generation page to, that's going to be my journaling spot. I believe the one I'm cutting out now says totally, oh, wait, it says remember this. And then the other one will say totally fantastic. And then before I take the photo, the label on the bottom there, I will stamp the date on it. And I make sure to get this little basketball guy on there that is rather vintage. The gear is from the Scrapbook Generation page. The score is from the Close to My Heart bunch of things I got. And the date thing is also from the Scrapbook Generation. These things all move around. I had a hard time with this cluster on the bottom. I've got 3 circles there. I put the Admit One ticket up on the right-hand side, and the circle that's really glaring up on the left-hand side is that basketball. And only 2 basketballs make it. That one in the right corner, there was too much up there. So, sorry about the glare on there. And again, I'm just trying to move things around to make it kind of pleasing to the eye. I didn't want the 3 circles on the bottom right. The 3 circles end up in the top left. I do glue that. I put some adhesive foam tape onto that camera, and it doesn't stay there. Here's where I'm going. Oh my gosh, can I see this, please? I want to see how it looks before I glue it all down. So I put the camera down, and that ended up moving. So, and I'm just going to move these things around. This We're Number 1 in black, I didn't have a title, and before I glue that pennant that says score down, I thought I could go into my other sports things and find something that says score, and that could be my title, but I like this We're Number 1. So I put it in the same spot as what the sketch has the title. It's not huge, but you can tell it's a title. And I like the layering of the ticket with the camera. And I, for a while, thought about putting a basketball up there, but I just never got back to it. And I like the way it turns out in the end. So we only have two of the orange basketballs on this layout, and I'm okay with that. Here you can see I'm still moving things around. Nope, put the circle up there, and that's where it ends up staying. I like the little cluster up on the left corner there. And I'm going to just put the stuff on the right-hand side down and be done with it. So, the pennant goes on the bottom. The basketball goes on top. And then layering the labels with the word phrases there. And Oh, and then next after that, I'll be working with my metal pieces. Got my crocodile out. I was gonna put a hole into the page and I figured out I can't use my crocodile to make an eyelet squish, if you know what I mean, in the middle of a page. So then my next best bet was to just, I've done this once just recently. You squish the eyelet with the crocodile, that's the pink thing in my right hand, and that way you put adhesive tape on the back and you put it down. So it's not going through the paper, but it's adhered there. It's not going anywhere. And I do have a little bit of trouble with this, trying to figure out which way it goes. There's a little bump on the bottom part and there's a bigger bump on the top part to kind of sandwich the eyelid in. But when it's a basketball eyelid, it's not exactly the same. So you'll see on my basketball, there's a little indentation on it, but I'm not too worried about that. I don't imagine anybody's going to notice it when they look at my page. So I am so happy to get these on here. I've been hanging on to different, I probably have golf ones yet too, but I've been hanging on to them for so long. I'm happy to get them on my page. And here I'm showing you, it's flat. It is flat. You can't see it, but trust me. And then I put that adhesive tape on there, and then I put them next to those words there, and I like the way that turns out. Then I use my LE Studio stickers and I pull off the blue stars, and I put one of those in each cluster, and there's just a spot in each cluster where it works. In the middle of the gear, in that middle of that circle that's up there in the hearts, and then right in the middle of the camera. And that is it, my friends. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. Give me a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.